What's up everyone, Darcblade here, bringing you another episode in my Uncharted 4 gun guide series, where we take a look at the weapons in the game, mostly focusing on how they work in the multiplayer. In this episode we're going to take a look at the next long gun you'll unlock in the game, the Mettler M-30. The Mettler is a semi-automatic rifle in Uncharted 4. It can be deadly accurate at long and medium ranges. It even comes with a scope that you can zoom in with, similar to the FAL with R3. It is a long gun that you will unlock by simply getting downs with any other long gun. The weapon also costs 5 loadout points to use. As a semi-auto weapon, it can be fired as fast as you can pull the trigger, but doing so will mean that you have to battle the recoil of the weapon as well. The Mettler has very balanced stats, with its accuracy and range being its highest. By default, the weapon comes with 15 bullets in the magazine. The Mettler can be modified in various ways. These include a starting ammo mod, which increases the amount of starting ammunition a player has in reserves when spawning. Taking this will increase the weapon's loadout point cost by 1 though. Next is the scoped in radar, which allows the radar to remain on screen while you're scoped in with the weapon. However, taking this will increase the weapon's loadout point cost by 1. Next is reload speed, which increases how quickly you can reload the Mettler. Taking this though will increase the weapon's loadout point cost by 2. Next is silencer, which means that you will no longer show up on radar when firing the weapon. However, taking this increases the loadout point cost by 4. Next is aimed strafe speed, which increases your movement speed and aiming. However, this will increase the weapon's loadout point cost by 3. Next is recoil, which reduces the kickback and recoil of the weapon, meaning that the aiming reticule will be easier to manage. This though will increase the weapon's loadout point cost by 4. And finally is clip capacity, which increases the magazine size of the weapon. However, it also increases the loadout point cost again by 4. For me personally, I go for silencer or recoil. This is because this weapon does come with some nasty recoil when firing at a fast rate, and the recoil mod can help counter this. Silencer is always a personal favourite of mine due to it fitting my style of gameplay within Uncharted 4's multiplayer. Of course, there are character weapons. These are pre-made weapons that come with 2 modifications attached to them. However, going for one of these weapons normally can cost 10 loadout points or more. So make sure when going for one of these weapons that it has 2 mods that you really want on it. The pros for the Mettler are that it is a superb weapon at mid to long ranges. It is also a very strong weapon, able to bring down foes fairly quickly, especially if you can land headshots. It can also be scoped in for increased accuracy when firing at longer ranges. However, the weapon does come with cons. It performs poorly at close range, as its blind fire is very poor. It can also run into issues with its low magazine size, and finally, it does have issues with its recoil. This being said though, the recoil can be managed with experience or just by tapping the fire trigger in a controlled manner. The Mettler M-30 resembles the Ruger Mini 30 Tactical in real life, albeit with a few modifications. So let's recap the benefits of using the Mettler M-30. Firstly, it's a balanced weapon in terms of stats. Next, it functions well at medium and long ranges, and can also deal decent damage. But on the cons, it is poor at close range encounters, and you have to manage its recoil. Overall, the Mettler is a balanced weapon in terms of its stats. The bullet damage is fairly high, so it can bring down foes quickly, if you are able to land shots of course. It can also fire bullets as fast as you can fire the trigger, but doing so will mean that you'll have to fight the weapon's recoil. You could say this weapon is a cross between an assault rifle and sniper rifle. You can do well at mid-range firefights, and then switch it up thanks to the scope in function to snipe at faraway targets. It's a weapon that can provide support for an organised team if needed. You have to be aware though that the weapon does come with an average magazine size, so keep an eye on it. Also bring a backup pistol that performs well at close range encounters should you happen to get into a situation with an opponent face to face. All this means that the Mettler M-30 gets a 7 out of 10. This is a decent choice of weapon, and can be devastating if you can get past the weapon's limitations. It is not the easiest to use, but can be satisfying once you've mastered it. Anyway, I've been Darcblade, bringing you my Uncharted 4 gun guide to the Mettler M-30. Hope you enjoyed the video, thanks for watching, subscribe and like for more.